You go first.
I'm Tim Cahill. I graduated in 1979.
I'm Laurel Bell-Cahill. I graduated in 1980.
My name is Leah Adams. I was Leah Dottie when I was in school, and we graduated in 2007.
I'm Johnny. I am Parker White, and I graduated here. I was a night student in 1980, and my wife, Noël Ferris, started as a night student, and then went up to days, and she graduated in 1979.
I'm Dana Sabraw, and I graduated in 1985.
And I graduated in 1986.
Hi, I'm Selena Farnesi. I graduated from McGeorge spring of 2015, and this is my husband.
I'm Rob Nash. I also graduated McGeorge in spring of 2015.
I'm Mary Bajo Coletta. I graduated in 2010.
And Sean Coletta, graduated in 2010 with my wife.
I actually met her before she met me. I saw her in the old student union talking to a friend of mine, and I thought, wow, is she pretty? And he was married, and I thought, this is unfair. So then later we met with the same fellow over coffee, again in the old student union. I was introduced to her, and that's how we initially met.
Yeah, we met here at McGeorge in Professor McFarland's office.
We both got put into Section C. I had sworn not to date all through law school because I was very focused on, getting it done right.
Same.
Lies. This guy started dating people the second he got to law school, and none of them were me.
I was about to graduate, so this would have been May of 1985. Summer was running for student body president, which she won. But as part of her obligation in running, she had to speak to every class, including the senior classes, the outgoing classes. And so the first time I met or ever laid eyes on Summer was when she came to speak to my class. And she was a very compelling figure. And so after hearing her speak, we had a mutual friend, Debbie Bain. Debbie is in Summer's class, and Debbie introduced us. We dated for 5 months. I proposed, and we were married 5 months later, December of 1986. So we've been, I proposed then, and we were married in September of 86. And so we've been married for 35 years.
I think first day of law school, maybe before that.
Or Section B.
Section B?
I think so.
All right. No better than to argue. Yeah, and bar review, maybe?
Yeah.
Also, probably.
Yeah, we met at bar review. That's where we first started talking, because I remember he ordered a shock top, which was weird for me.
We were in all of the, torts agency contracts together, and she managed an apartment, apartment units, and one of the guys in my study group was and she had a kid, so she was working full-time and had a kid, and he invited her to our study group, and that's how we actually met.
When did we get married? That's actually a more complicated question than it should be.
True.
So we got engaged in October of 2019, and we're all geared up for our big, fancy wedding, and then, like many other couples, we got derailed a little bit by the global pandemic. So
I had picked the perfect wedding date, 10/10/2020. Tell me that is not the most perfect wedding date.
I think she had the date before she had me.
Accurate.
But so we ended up deciding to move forward with a very small and intimate backyard wedding with just our immediate family. Selena was unwilling to give up her perfect date, so we did that, and it was very nice. But we knew we still wanted to celebrate with everyone, so we spent the next year moving forward with our plans for our big church wedding that we really wanted, and did that on October 9th of 2021.
We got married in July of 1978. Never thought we were crazy, but it seemed like it was just so right. It was just like, well, no, this is the right thing to do. And are you going to get married in law school? And blah, blah, blah. And it's like, yeah, she did. Abby was her daughter, and it was like that was all part of the deal. And so we kind of worked together in terms of making sure You know, she got picked up from school, got dropped off, got her lunches made, you know, and all that stuff. So it just kind of worked. It worked really well.
We were friends for a long time because when we met, I actually had a boyfriend. He had a girlfriend, and we were kind of friends through friends before we actually became.
Yeah, we had sort of a tight-knit group at McGeorge, a lot of good people that we went out with somewhat frequently. Law school took its toll on other relationships, as it so often does, and eventually pushes people that spend a lot of time together. So I think sort of towards the end of the first year, Mary's long game started paying its dividends, and I took notice, and eventually she wore me down.
We got married in July of 2011.
We got married April 1st, 1978. So we will be married 44 years this April.
Congratulations. It didn't dawn on us until later that we got married on April Fool's Day. It was just like, this is the first day that we have a week off. And
spring break.
There we go, yes, spring break.
Yeah.
But it never occurred to me we were getting married on April Fool's Day.
I know that sometimes having similar careers can be not a good thing, but for us, it's been a huge support, a supportive factor. It's kind of, I don't have to explain, why I'm consumed by something, a trial or anything. The same with Dana. He doesn't have to explain. We can use kind of shortcut language, and we understand and support each other.
One of the benefits of being married to another lawyer is you come home and you can talk about some of the things that you do, and they actually understand. Or maybe you're interested in it, so that's not always the case.
I think a lot. I mean, just getting through law school together.
Yeah, I mean, all of it was somewhat, you deal with the challenges of law school together. You deal with the ups and downs of exams, of the bar exam, and, the classes, and prepares you to get out and deal with the ups and downs of private practice and
finding jobs.
Yeah, finding jobs is a big one for us. We graduated in 10, and the market was about as bad as it's been. Thankfully, we've seen it improve substantially over the course of the last 10 years, but yeah, I think a lot of that prepared us to sort of go through the challenges of life together.
When we were first hanging out, we were having pizza together. This is in December of 1976, and we were in study group, and we took a break for pizza, and she goes, "You know what? If I wanted you to, you'd marry me." And I'm like, "Yeah, right." A divorcee with a child. Yeah, she was right there.
Are you grateful that both of you ended up at McGeorge? Because, it eventually led to you meeting your partner?
That's a trick question.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's definitely one of the best things that came out of being at McGeorge. The best thing.
She's got a great story. I mean, 12% of the class were women when we started. There were no trial lawyers who were women. And she was one of the first. And so she's got this great story. I mean, at a time when women would wear little blue blazers and bolo ties, and she would wear a red dress to court. And it showed a next generation of women that, I don't have to be like a guy.
It's been a magical journey, to think about this. We are now both stationed downtown. We work across the street from each other. We often commute to work together as we did today. We're both on the 13th floor.
I mean, so some of the experiences that we had at McGeorge, I think, clearly shaped the rest of our progression in our life. The judge I externed for when I was a student is the one who performed our wedding ceremony in San Francisco. She drove out to San Francisco and did that for us.
Well, we actually took our engagement photos here.
True. In this library.
Yeah.
5 years after we graduated, and we got married actually on campus in the quad, and had our reception there, which was really nice and very special. Our wedding parties kind of came together in Classroom G where we met, and that's where we had everyone sign the chalkboard. We had our guest book, which was a poster that we still have that everyone signed in there. So it was really nice.
I had graduated and was working, and she was in her last year preparing for exams, and she got very frustrated at one time and said, "You just have forgotten what it's like to
You
go through
just don't
exams.
remember."
You just don't remember." I said, "No, I remember, I just don't care."
Yeah, and he's lucky he's still alive.
Which was a dumb thing to
Yes.
say. It's a very dumb thing. You know, basically what it comes down to is the person you're with.
Everything I treasure, I can trace back to McGeorge.